Sir, did you get someone hired?
Not yet. I've been waiting to get a hold of Tom Kelly. I called their office several times and talked to Mr. Langston this morning too. He didn't get in the car last time.
Okay, why are you just talking to him right now?
I've been trying to get a hold of Mr. Kelly. I called his office. I don't know if they called me back or not because it's from my work schedule. Like my phone don't work.
So here's the thing, Mr. Lofton, you're out on a bond for an MTRP, and I'm pretty sure I told you last time you needed to get someone hired.
Yes, ma'am. I'm calling, I'm doing my best.
Well, it doesn't sound like you are if you just, you're not sure if he called you back or if you left him, you need to call, hang on, don't talk over me. All right? You're on probation for a serious offense. The allegations are that you violated your probation. Fact that you got a bond on that is better than what some people have. You need to get a lawyer hired before the next court date. All right, if you're working, then you should be able to afford to get a lawyer. You're going to have to take a day off. You're going to have to do whatever it takes. This has to be a priority. If you don't have a lawyer and you don't talk to at least 3 lawyers and bring me proof of that when you come back, then your bond will be raised and you'll be back in jail next time. Do you understand? All right, step in front of the clerk.
You, Michael Todd First.
Sure.
Mr. First, you're charged with driving while intoxicated, second offense. And you're charged with interference with the duties of a public servant. So on the DWI, you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. On your other case, you're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have, okay.
On November 7th, 2024, the officer responded to an HEB in Harris County, Texas, in response to a public intoxication call. Upon contact with the defendant, who matched the description given over dispatch, the officer observed the defendant to have bloodshot, glossy eyes, slurred speech, and a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage, and the defendant was extremely unsteady on his feet. The defendant failed to comply, having unprovoked aggression and irritability towards the officers, and refused to answer any and all questions regarding his medical history and whether the defendant had consumed any alcoholic beverage. Through surveillance footage, the officers observed the defendant drive to the store and was the sole occupant of his motor vehicle, and the witness advised the defendant entered the store appearing to be heavily intoxicated. Due to the defendant's level of intoxication, standard field sobriety tests were unable to be performed. The DIC was read, but the defendant refused. A search warrant was signed and executed despite the defendant's attempt to interfere with the execution of the blood warrant. He resisted the officers and the hospital staff and impeded the phlebotomist from complying with the warrant.
Just telling me that he interfered. DWI, okay, with the interference, you got to give me more than conclusory statements.
So 3 officers, Judge, had to restrain the defendant before the phlebotomist was able to take two vials
Better.
of blood.
Okay.
He disrupted the timeline of the execution. He impeded the phlebotomist from complying with the warrant. He interfered with the peace officer while the peace officer was performing his duty. So, Judge, it just seems like he was actively resisting the whole time.
Strap him to a gurney, does it say? Do you know?
I'm gonna pull up the OR, Judge.
It's not necessary.
Furthermore, it also says that while in the hospital for approximately 5 minutes, the defendant repeatedly pulled away his arm from the phlebotomist and the officers while the phlebotomist was drawing blood.
Okay. All right, Mr. First, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward on both of your cases. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or any illegal drugs, I will put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. Do you have a Texas driver license? Can you run his license, please? And then how many prior DWIs do we have here? Do you have liability insurance in your name?
Currently, yes, sir. But I would.
I don't want to talk about the case at all. I'm just trying to determine whether we should allow you to drive or not.
Well, I have something to say on that. It would be fine with me if you ordered me not to drive. I don't need to drive. I don't have a job.
But I don't know how that'll impact your life. I am going to say this, though. I am ordering you now not to drive any vehicle that doesn't have an ignition interlock on it. So I'm putting a restriction on your license that if you want to drive a vehicle, you're not allowed to unless it has an ignition interlock.
Problem, Your Honor.
Understand if you drive a vehicle, it doesn't have one, you're in violation of the conditions and we're going to put you in jail.
Yes,
You
sir.
understand?
Yes.
Mr. First, if you have a problem with drugs or alcohol, you better take care of it, because if you don't, I'm going to do it for you. And I promise you're not going to like the way that I do it. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
And Your Honor, his license is eligible and he only has one prior DWI from 2023 out of Montgomery.
On probation right now?
No, it was a 3-day jail sentence.
All right. So tell me, what do you do in life? Do you work?
I don't work right now. I'm in the process of filing for disability. I tore up my knee right before Christmas the last year. And it was really bad and I'm still suffering with it today.
How do you support yourself?
My wife
So you're married?
is,
Okay. So we'll do this. I'll give you an application. Let me see if I have one on file. I need you to fill out an application for me for an appointed lawyer.
yes, sir.
So Deputy Reeves will give you an application. I'm going to have you sign a big reset with Victoria. You'll meet with Felicia for your bond conditions, and then we'll just have you take a seat in the jury box while we get all your conditions ready and then find your lawyer.
Fair
Okay,
enough,
sir?
Your Honor.
Okay, please.
Good morning. Are you Camden Jackson? And Mr. Jackson, in cause number 25 DC, you're charged with engaging in organized criminal activity. Ms. Perazzo has filed a motion to withdraw as your attorney. And so do you have any opposition to me allowing her to withdraw? Answer out loud. Okay. So Ms. Perazzo, I will grant your motion. Mr. Jackson, do you have the funds to hire an attorney?
Working on it.
You're working on it? So here's what I'm going to do in the meantime, because you're in custody. I'm going to go ahead and appoint an attorney. That way you have no lull in representation. Somebody will begin working on your case. If you get someone hired, then they can file the appropriate motions to step in, okay? But you will be appointed an attorney today. Now, before I send you back to the jail, I want to talk to you about this stack of incident reports that I have of how you're behaving in our jail. And I know that one of the things that you wanted Ms. Perazzo to do, and that she had filed on your behalf that we're not going to take up today, is for me to reduce your bond. And I can assure you, nothing's going to happen other than your bond being increased if you continue to act like the little hooligan that you're acting like in our jail. I can't even tell you how angry this makes me. How old are you?
Just turned 19.
Just turned 19. Well, let me tell you something. It is time to grow up. Because you and the other little 18, 19, whatever y'all are doing in there, you're never going to get out of jail. You're going to end up in prison, and your life is just going to be just like this. And is that what you want?
No.
It's not, is it? Cussing at the correctional officers, laying in bed because you don't want to get up, staying up late because you know when you get to sleep late? When you're at home because you're not in jail for violating the law. That's when you get to sleep late. That's when you get to make your own decisions. You don't get to make those decisions right now. And I get a report every single time you're acting up. And you're going to keep coming in front of me with another lawyer, and it's the same thing. The DA knows about these, and if you think that's going to make them want to be nice and offer you some great deal on your case, it's not. All it's going to make everybody want to do is something worse to you. So starting today, if you think you want something good to come out of your case and you want some possible good treatment and to get out and to be able to live a life like the rest of us, start proving it starting today in jail. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. Do you understand? All right, go back with the bailiff. Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you. I don't know if that's a good thing.
I heard.
Hooligan's the best I could come up with without saying anything bad.